Hello, my name is Alessandro Baronti, President and CEO of Derigo RAM. Today I bring you the training on the art of multiple pairs. One of the biggest challenges faced today by eye care professionals is filling the needs of a patient with multiple pairs of eyewear. Often dispensers believe that patient wants and needs only one pair of eyeglasses, while in many cases additional products such as sunglasses, health eyes, computer glasses, and blue light coding are needed. Patients are happy to purchase a second or even a third pair when it suits their needs, only though if they're presented with the right option. Please keep that in mind. The current national average of sales of multiple pairs in eye care professional in US and Canada is less than 10%. How many of you believe that your practice sells multiple pairs of frame and lenses above the average? How many of you would like to see that percentage increase? Why? Well, the first question is because it is right for your patients. On the top of that is also because we are part of a healthcare network structure and we have an obligation in educating our patient in what is the best for them. I didn't say prejudge, I didn't say assume. I would like to underline the word educate. Educate is just a matter of presenting options on what is best for them. See, satisfy your patient needs and wants will translate in their loyalty. That will generate a referral, and that will also enhance the profit of your practice. So what is preventing you? One reason may be your approach. Another one may be your ability to overcome your patient perception that they have no needs, maybe no want, or no money. Well, we will discuss that during the next hour. Before we do so, let's begin by taking a look at today's business model. So I have a few more questions. So let's pretend we're in a room together and you're going to virtually raise your hands. How many of you have been in the optical for more than 5 years? What about 10 or more? Now, during that time, have you seen a change in behavior in your patient consumers? What do you see different today compared to the past? Well, maybe they're more demanding, right? Well, why do you suppose that is the case? I think it's related to consumers' power and overabundance. Overabundance are places that consumers can go for their goods and services. Think about all of the places a person can choose to go for their frame and lenses. Retail chains, mass merchandisers, independent ophthalmologists, optometrists, optical shop, department stores, and now the internet that is going to become more and more relevant as we go. So you have to ask yourself a couple of questions. The first one is why would a patient come to your place of business? And what are patients looking from you? So let's discover these together. So to understand what patient consumers are looking for, let's see on how they think and how they actually evolved. So I would like to start by talking to you about the digital consumers, the digital patient consumers in the case of our business. Over the past 10 years, the expectation of a patient consumers has changed dramatically. Why is that? Technology, design, logistic, product availability, innovation, completely shift an expectation. The internet and evolving technology have dramatically changed the people do things every single day. Normal activities like banking, researching, even shopping, or as simple as buying a grocery, all of these today can happen online. So let's think about how that has affected the behavior and along with that, their expectation. What are they going to expect from us from this point on? Multiple pairs one-on-one. In today's world, patients choose the place of business they feel will best meet their individualistic taste and needs. Living in a digital era, we're more informed than in the past years, so we expect the people we choose to do business with to be knowledgeable and willing to be able to answer our questions. People learn and absorb information in three different ways. However, the retention of the information varies. Generally, we retain 20% of what we hear, 60% of what we see. Now, if we both see and hear it, our retention rate will jump to 80%. And if we add touch to the mix, our retention rate will hit 95%. In other words, what happens in your practice when you combine seeing, hearing, and touching does not stay in your practice, but follow the patient wherever they go. Give the patient a great experience, and they will give you their loyalty and referral, as I mentioned before. Remember, they choose your place of business because they perceive that you offer the best healthcare in the eyewear. And it is not only a perception, we know that it's a reality. If you don't take the time to show them all of the options that complements their lifestyles, you leave the patient open to going elsewhere where another dispenser may take the time to complete their education and lure them away from you. Remember, they choose your place of business because they respect your knowledge and expect you to provide advice on what is best for them. So my message to you is don't sell, educate. Don't tell, offer options. It is our responsibility to educate the patient and offer eyewear that is customized to them, even when these require multiple pairs. Getting comfortable with the concept of multiple pairs is the key for success. Never assume that the patient may not be able to afford it. Be the professional and sell with confidence. Getting comfortable with the concept of multiple pairs is the key of success. Offer an option appropriate to the patient wants and needs. And guess what? As simple as this may sound, let's always think more than one pair. So are you intrigued now to understand how you can magnify this opportunity? So let's review some data together. Eye care practitioners self-frame to only 65% of the patients who have their eye examined. 80% of the patients are finding the process confusing. They do not really understand the journey from the moment that they check in and all of the different steps you're putting them through and why. And certainly they do not understand the pricing structure of the frame and lenses. It is very confusing, especially with vision managed care involved. All of a sudden a frame is $700, I magically apply the benefit and boom, the copayment becomes $200 out of pocket. What had just happened? I'm completely confused by that. 84% of the patients have difficulty finding what they need in an optical dispensary that on average has 800 units or more, and in most cases the product is not properly merchandised. You have probably heard most of these before, and you have probably tried to increase your multiple pair sales, but it hasn't worked or kept working. The key here is to understand why it hasn't worked before and why you need to really overhaul your approach to be successful today. You will also need to be mindful of the fact that we're in a different era. We're in an era now where convenience and low cost is now being overshadowed by the internet. So let's be mindful of that. The needs and the wants. We heard that before. The needs, I need to see better. Pretty simple, right? But that is not going to move that patient into action, into be able to indulge, into really go above and beyond what they need to see better. Let's talk about the want. I want eyewear that completely complements my style. I want eyewear from my favorite brand. I want eyewear that reflects my personality. I want eyewear that fits my lifestyle's need. Wow. Now think about it when you combine the two together and think about the power that we have in our industry when a healthcare system converge to a retail environment, and the two powers combined together can amplify that experience. So I would like to send two messages, one for the doctors and one for the staff. So doctors, I'm talking to you as the owner of your practice, and I'm asking you to do nothing more than be a doctor. I'm asking you to educate and recommend best option for your patient to see better. The way that you recommend is by prescribing, because the moment that you prescribe, you empower your opticians to fill your prescription, and you take them away from a very awkward position of maybe feeling that they're actually selling, or even worse, overselling. The second ask is that you make a commitment to write at least 3 prescriptions to every single one of your patients, and make this a must effective today. For the staff, to be successful with multiple pairs, you must always be thinking about 3 things: fashion, need, and fashion. Because fashion is a want, which can be multiplied by need, which can further be multiplied by want again by embracing fashion one more time. If you only use brands to leverage the need, you're not going to the fullest extent on how to tap into a consumer's want. Understanding their lifestyles, environment, and making additional suggestions based on this is the key. Another good tactic is by paying attention to the brand they like. Most likely they're wearing that brand. And probably they're wearing more than one brand, so you can easily link that to the wardrobe of eyewear that you can build. For lenses, you are the expert. But I can tell you, do not assume and do not prejudge. As we discussed before, take the time to educate. Enhance your presentation by storytelling with digital tools and omni-channel integration. Remember what I told you before about how people learn when you combine the 3 senses together. And today, you can equip yourself with digital tools to be able to explain lens technology in a much faster and effective way than ever before. So now that we're on the same page on the importance of education, let's take a look at the quality of a great salesperson. The first important point is engaging. How do you engage is by asking questions. The second rule is friendly. How can you express yourself in a friendly way? By listening. So you ask a question, now you have the time to listen to the response of your patient, listen with the interest, informative, offer choices. It's very important for you at this point, as we said before, not to assume, not to prejudge, but to walk the patient through the right choices based on what is best for them. Number 4, truthful. It is critical to be using the word integrity as a rule and provide proper feedback to the patient, not about what we want to sell. Oh, that frame looks great on you. Oh, that frame looks great on you. Or that frame looks great on you. Well, I guess everything looks great on me. Now, at that point, you're losing trust. Provide the proper feedback. And number 5, playful. Make the experience fun. 85% of your patient wants you to inform them about all eyewear and lenses options available to them regardless of the price. Listen first. Allow the patient to tell you. As you do that, be mindful that as you're asking and as you're listening, your patient are going to start to form an impression about you. And these are some of the things that they're going to think inside their head. Is this person trustworthy? Do they care about me? And do they have knowledge to meet my needs and wants? Do they start selling before asking questions? This is equal to trust. Are they attempting to get to know me before trying to sell me? This is equal to trust and care. Are they able to compare product and make solid recommendation for my particular need? This equals to knowledge. Do they know the trends of the industry in reference to technologies, material? This is also associated with knowledge. Are they selling me what I want on what their business wants them to sell me? This equals to trust and care. See, folks, being a good listener is not always easy. So often during the day, our minds wanders. And it's very important when listening to our patient that we follow very specific rule. Use eye contact, avoid multitasking, smile, pay attention. And also body language is important. Leaning forward just a little bit, maintaining social distancing shows a sign of care. Okay, now I'm listening to you. Keeping our hands folded keeps the patient from being distracted by maybe us moving too much, especially me being Italian. When I talk, I move my hands a lot. Keep smiling. It's a sign of you paying attention to the conversation. The multitasking part is also important because it creates that moment where you are giving the impression to the patient that you feel fully interested in the conversation, and you create a positive first impression, which is crucial. So this is my suggestion. Begin with a simple and sincere, "How may I help you today?" Now sit back and allow the patient to tell you their story, what they're looking for, what do they believe they need, and how you can help them. Make it personal. No one wants to be sold, but everybody wants to buy. Buy is fun. Their experience is one that will stay with them way long after the frame has been dispensed. It is all about how you make them feel and how you involve them in the decision-making process. You are there to act as their consultant. It is all about building trust, about being patient, and being focused. Remember, it's all about them. Why is this all important? Well, the data doesn't lie, so let's look at this data together. Did you know that the average woman has between 25 to 40 pair of shoes? And did you know that Alessandro Baronti has 40 pair of shoes? that was my joke, but it is true actually. Now let's make it fun in the spirit of having a little bit of fun together. How many shoes do you have? How many different clothing outfits do you have? What about jewelry? The average person spends over $1,500 a year on apparel. And what is most interesting about this is apparel that they will only wear 10 times a year. What is most interesting is that patient only spends $200 for a pair of glasses. They will wear every day for almost 2 years. So think about that. Not to mention that the average American spends between $2,000 to $10,000 on cosmetics to make them look and feel better. Doesn't eyewear supposed to do the same thing? Not only that, an updated bold pair of glasses or contact can do so much more than makeup or even plastic surgery. A study from 2010 done by the British College of Optometrists found that candidates are more likely to be hired if they wear a pair of glasses in a job interview. I guess glasses give the gift of looking intelligence, right? Well, some of us need a little bit more help than that, including me. Let's not forget that glasses are no longer strictly about utility, they're so much more. Glasses today are considered a fashion statement. Why people buy? Well, let me see. To help them see better, smarter, look older, maybe younger, different, enhance their image, set trend and make a fashion statement, occupational reason, recreational reason, lifestyle reason, performance reason. Think about all of those points and think about how through communication you can connect these dots to combine that need into a want and move your patients to action. So why your patients buy from you? As I said before, a combination of the needs and the want. And what part of our body do we use when making purchasing decision? Head, heart. When do people buy most frequently? When they transition into the want. Our needs are few, our wants are many. When do people spend more money? When they operate into the want. Think about your last purchase. Was it really necessary or was just because? We're fortunate to be in a scenario where medical and retail are one, and needs and wants can be effectively combined, as I said already before. And I'm going to say this several times so we can actually start to make this a part of who we are and hopefully how we think going forward in the context of selling multiple pairs. Okay, well, let's define and begin. Now that you have done your own work and you have built that relationship with your patient, it's time for the shopping spree to begin. The shopping spree concept implies in purchasing more than one item. Notice the difference in expectations. Let's go shopping versus let's select a frame. Give people the opportunity to purchase multiple and see how quickly they can take advantage of that. Consumers are naturally accustomed to buying multiple items. I want you to think about that. Shop at the grocery stores, you're going to use the cart. Shop at the drugstores, you're going to use a basket. Shop online, you're going to put the items in a cart. Shop at the department stores, and you're going to use a fitting room. Shop eyewear, and you're going to get a tray, and let the fun begin. So what are we shopping for? Eyewear option that fits the patient lifestyle. In the context of all of this, I want to talk to you about the importance of storytelling. Remember, during this journey, an important selling tool is storytelling. Storytelling is a proven method to transform a brand, presence, and identity. It can assist you in shaping how people view the brands you carry, allowing you to connect with your customers in better ways. Stories play a crucial role in building customers' loyalty and encouraging engagement while you go through the consulting process. Indulge me in watching this video to show you how this company actually can take a message to really be able to build and reinforce the power of the brand by telling a story.
While America celebrated the fall of Prohibition, Jim Beam didn't raise a single glass. See, he wanted his first drink to be of his own bourbon. He didn't have much time. He didn't have much money, but he did have a few good friends, people who were raised the right way. Over 120 days, they helped him rebuild the distillery. And while their names might not be on our bottle, it's because of them we can raise this bourbon today. Jim Beam, raised right.
What a great video. It really brings everything to life. And obviously storytelling is not going to be enough unless you be or become the true eyewear fashion consultant. Now, it is obvious that the patient of yours came in to buy a pair of glasses. The goal here is to get them thinking about their personal styles and additional eyewear needs. This is the time to fill in the void with questions that will complete the story. Make sure that you have as much information about the patient as possible because it's easier to recommend someone you know. Play the role of the eyewear fashion consultant. Style your patient based on lifestyles and personality. It's a great technique to open the gate for a conversation about multiple pairs. As you can see, the dynamics of many different type of personality, and now we can go into a question type of mode to be able to create that conversation. Want to give you an inspiration about some of the questions. So let's talk about work and play to start. A question, it can be, do you wear the same outfit during your business hours versus when you go out at night? And another one, it can be under the concept of casual and formal. Do you wear the same shoes you wear at work or when you go to a wedding? And or another concept that can be a great option to open for multiple pairs is that what about your comfortable type of pair of eyewear? What about your pajama eyewear? Yeah, your pajama eyewear, actually. I do have a pajama eyewear. It is that frame that I keep in my room. I use it to do my emails at night before I go to sleep, to read my 10-15 pages of my personal growth book, and it is that comfort piece that I also use in the house, that I will not use to go out, but it's just about me. It's just about my comfort. It's just about me being cozy. So it's definitely one of my multiple pairs that I use all the time. Now. It's also in the context of a lifestyles question type of integration. It's also important to ask appropriate question when it's pertinent based on the discovery that we already have done about that specific patient. For example, all of your patients that are wearing contact lenses is using glasses to give a break to the eyes, right? For comfort zone. Or also your contact lenses wearer can be the perfect candidate to position a plano glass with the prescription blue light coating. Now this is a plano lens that it provides the comfort of the blue light coating for computer use, or again for playing video games. It can be like, or it can be for those people that they spend extensive amount of time in front of an iPad and things like that. Safety eyewear. In this situation, I will recommend the safety eyewear based on a lifestyle question specific to that. Now, that's a completely different pair, specifically used for that reason. Sports eyewear. Why sports eyewear? To protect your eyes during lifestyles outdoor activity. And then, of course, the task-specific type of glasses, computer glasses, driving glasses, classroom type glasses. Now, a few tips to help you out. It's important to always underline that the second pair is a must-have as a backup pair, especially for those patients that they have a significant prescription. It is critical that all of your patients have a backup pair. So let's make that a point. The second pair can be a great prescription sunglasses. I think everybody should have a pair of prescription sunglasses. We should all make it at the top of our priority to promote the utilization of prescription sunglasses. And then we can go into the technology with that. It can be a prescription sun with the polarization lenses, so you can definitely expand to that. What about the second pair for computer use and with the blue lens coating, as I mentioned before? So as you can see, the conversation gets very interesting as we really start to integrate the personality, the lifestyles, and now is moving into not a selling type of approach, is selling into an educational conversation approach. Now, at this point, we're moving into a very important part of the process, which is we're getting to the closing. And in this specific part, I will suggest you to stay focused on what I call the 3P technique. So the 3P technique is leverages on performance, presentation, and product. Now, performance that leverage on the fact that you're going to really stay focused on positioning, offering to serve different functions and lifestyles and need. You already did all of this discovery. You have all of the information. The doctor at this point had prescribed to the patient 3 different prescriptions with 3 different specific recommendations, and you have already done your due diligence in presenting to your patient specific brand with lens technology to pair that up to leverage on the lifestyles need and to leverage on the message of the doctor, which is the recommendation through the prescription. Now, when you go into the presentation, I think it's important to use the brand knowledge. Now, at this point, remember the 3 senses that you have to combine together, okay? You are explaining, you are using a visual aid to be able to make the message more relevant. I strongly suggest you to use a digital tool to do the explanation of both the product and the lenses. And then you're moving into a feel and touch. Invite the patient to actually try the product on and talk about the product and talk about the benefit and the feature and benefit of the product. And now the third P is the product. So present the product with different price level. I'm going to give you a specific example on that. Now, it's very important that as you do this, that you are very versed on a clear explanation of benefit of the vision coverage of that specific patient, if any. Now, in United States, we have specific vision coverage. On average, optometric practice do over 70% of their business with some type of vision managed care. If you're listening to this training from Canada, in Canada, you do have some vision benefit through some employers in some of the large Canadian companies. So be aware of what those coverage are, because you're going to leverage on those benefits to be able to sell multiple pairs, right? So I'm going to give you an example on how we can bring this to life. So let's use Susie as the patient. And so Susie, so I understand that the doctor prescribed 3 different type of eyewear to meet your lifestyles, and we already selected some product together on the board, and I have some recommendation for you as well to reinforce and follow the message of the doctor. So we have these 3 pair of glasses that we selected, and the first pair is for your everyday use, and for this specific pair, you know, I will suggest we select this one over here, which I think is this plastic frame. I think is great. It's actually Carolina Herrera, and a Venezuelan designer. And I know you really like the coloration of the frame, and the fitting and the shape looks great on you. It gives you a little uplift and a really perfect fitting for you. We're gonna put a very nice eye index technology lenses, and let me show you over here in this in my iPad that this is the regular thickness of the lenses with the regular lens. And the benefit when we do with an eye index, as you can see on these images, is that the lenses are going to be much lighter weight, and the thickness of the lenses is going to be about 1/3 of the regular one, and it's going to look beautiful aesthetically, and it's going to give you a great comfort. We're going to add an air coating As you can see from my iPad over here, this is before and after. See the difference of the air coating? What it does, it cuts the glare completely. And this is specific first pair. I would like to put it on your vision benefit. You have incredible vision benefit. They cover for almost the entire price of the frame and the lenses. So I want to leverage on that to give you a great deal. How does that sound? Okay, perfect. Now for the second pair, the doctor is recommending a pair of computer glasses. And why is he recommending that? Because you're spending an average of 8 hours in front of the computer, so you need a specific vision distance specific to the computer that will help you to reduce eye fatigue. Is also going to help you with some of your neck pain that you have, because you are actually accommodating with your body from the chair to get a little bit closer to the computer to see better. So it's going to give you comfort, it's going to give you better vision. On this specific frame, we're going to put a blue coating technology. As you discuss it with the doctor, the blue coating technology has incredible benefit because it's a filter about the blue light coating that are coming through digital device like the iPad, your computer, and they, in time with long-term exposure, they reflect in different type of symptoms that you want to avoid. So we're gonna add that technology for comfort and performance level. And then as a third pair, we're gonna also look at those prescription sunglasses that the doctor prescribed as well. And those are important for you because based on your lifestyles, you like to hike a lot, you like to walk, you like to bike, and we're gonna put a nice performance lenses. We're gonna do a polycarbonate lenses for safety reason, since you do all of these lifestyle sports, and we're gonna add an air coating on the back of the lenses for the backlight glare, and we're also on the top of that, we're gonna add a polarization lens filter. Let me show you a demo on my digital device about the polarization. See, this is a filter before and after. As you can see, the polarization filter removes all of the glare, and it gives you incredible performance benefit. Okay, great. So you have 3 great selection. What I suggest to do, as I said, we're gonna put the first pair on the insurance. For the second and third pair, along for the little copayment that you have from the first pair, we can do 2 things. The full amount is $879. We can put it on your credit card, or if you want, I can offer you 12 easy payments, interest-free, which will come down to be $73.25 amount. Now, I want to remind you also that we have this additional frame on the maybe pile. This is that frame for the special occasion that we discussed about it, and this is more of a fashion thing. This is more of a want, of a desire. It's something that the doctor didn't obviously prescribe to you, but it's definitely look amazing on you, and if you go on a date or if you want to go to a special occasion, it will be nice for you to have. It's not a must, but it will be nice for you to have. Now, if we add this fourth pair to the bundle that I put together, your payment is gonna go up from $73.25 to $94.74. So what do you think? What would you like to do? Okay, great. So you're gonna follow the recommendation of the doctor. So we're gonna go with the obviously with the first pair every use. We're gonna go with the computer glasses. Great choice. And then on the top of that, we're gonna do the prescription sun. I am so glad you decided to do that as well, because you're definitely going to see the benefit. I understand that this time around you want to pass on the 4 pair, understandable. What I'm going to do for you, I'm going to write all of the information on your chart. We're going to write down the frame information, the lens option, all of the measurement is going to be noted on your chart. Now, keep in mind that if you change your mind, or if the special event comes up and you feel the need of having this frame to go to the special event, make sure you call me, give me at least 4 days notice, and I will have that frame ready for you just in time for the special event. Now, of course, folks, this is the best case scenario, and we just sold 3 pair of eyewear. and is great. Now, does this work all the time? No, of course not. But if you don't try, I can guarantee you that it will never work, right? So don't assume, don't prejudge. Okay, I would like to spend some time talking to all of you about upselling, which I think it's a very relevant point. Now, what we know is that your patient, over 90% of the time, they end up selecting the first frame that they try on over a choice of 5 different frames. So it is critical that the way that you present your product in your optical dispensary is to leverage on this fact. Your patients should start to gravitate and start the selection of the product in the area where you have the most important and the most relevant product. So there is a full presentation about this. I'm not going to go into that, but please make sure you pay attention to the way that your dispensary is set up, because that can dramatically change the outcome of the selection of the frame, especially if you have a high concentration of vision managed care in your practice or a vision benefit. You definitely want to make sure that you leverage on the setup of your practice. Upselling is a simple method for selling higher price point items first. Now, I suggest that you begin recommending higher price product first. As you do that, I suggest that you emphasize the feature and benefit of the product, and then you continue to present additional option at lower price point. Now remember, your responsibility is to educate and to offer your customers, in this case a patient, option. Now, at this point, it is up to them to decide which one is the best that fits their needs and wants. Since managed care is a big part of our optical world, let it work for you, not against you. Now, this is important. Use vision managed care to your advantage, not against you. Acknowledge and leverage insurance benefit with your patient in a form of a benefit. Use a benefit as a gateway to create a premium shopping experience. Let's bring back Susie again. Susie, you have great insurance benefit that will save you approximately 40% on the purchase of any frame and lenses that you see in our optical dispensing, including premium product, fashion product, luxury product, and believe it or not, even ultra luxury product like Chopard. Now, did you notice what I said? That everything can be selected, everything is a cover, and the insurance benefit, it's a benefit towards the purchase of any type of product with a 40% saving. Now, you created that type of environment before the patient actually tells you, I only wanted to see what is covered by my insurance benefit. Everything is covered, Susie. Some of the product is going to be completely covered. Some of the product is going to have an out-pocket expenses, but on average, it's a 40% saving. One of the pushback you're going to receive and you need to be prepared to overcome is, I want it, but I can afford it. This is going to be and become more relevant as we go forward. Now, a few suggestions that I would like to share with you on things that I've seen working and things that I think it's a must at this point to be implemented. The first suggestion is for you to create a specific ongoing discount structure for multiple pairs. Let me give you an example. I know that there are lens company today that they offer a 50% discount on the second pair of lenses that you order for the same patient on the same day. So you may want to leverage on that, creating a discount for frame and lenses, which is significant enough to entice the patient to consider to go for the second pair. You also want to consider implementing a special discount to give an opportunity for you to reach out for your patient. Example, a special discount for birthdays or for holidays, and this works very well in other industry, and why not applying the same concept that is working in other industry in our industry. Another discount that is working very well is the discount for referrals. So let me give you an example. You create a program for your patient where if they refer one new patient to you, it's a 10% off on the next purchase, on the next visit. They refer 2 patients, 20% off, 3 patients, 30% off, all the way up to 10, and they get a free frame and lenses up to a certain limit that you create. And you can create a nice system to track this referral, and you can keep your patients informed on how they're doing on the referral, and it can become very, very motivating. Special promotion it's also something important. You may want to create a special promotion in conjunction to special event, like an annual trunk show that you do in your practice. Gift cards and gift certificate, it's also another concept that is not very much used in our business. I think we need to be more aggressive in implementing that. And the last point, but probably the most relevant point, I strongly suggest you to create an entry-level price point bundle concept with the frame and lenses. And now there is a reason why some of the entity like Warby Parker and many others in that type of business format have become so successful, not only online, but also as a brick and mortar type of experience. They became so successful because they're offering patient a specific solution that is very transparent and very understanding. In our business, remember that one of the biggest frustration that we discussed at the beginning of this presentation is the fact that the price confusion and the fact that there is the perception that frames and lenses are too expensive. So we have to be sensitive to that. So what I suggest, it's a bundle pricing for single vision below $100, frame and lenses, and you can easily do that today with a specific product, and a bundle program for frame and lenses with progressive below $200. I would probably say Warby Parker is doing between $129 to $149. I would probably stay in the $160. Now, this is not a product that you need to push or sell on a regular basis, but this is product that you need to have to capture those patients that otherwise will walk and go, they will ask you for the prescription and go buy the frame and material somewhere else, or to address the question is, I want it and I can't afford it. Now let's seal the deal. We spoke earlier about the importance of financing option. I want to share with you some information to help you understand how relevant it is today to have a financing option solution. There are many companies out there. One of the one that I know the most in terms of effectiveness, the easy to work with is Care Credit, but there are other companies available. Now let's go through this information together. 43% of patients are interested in a financial offer 90 days, the same as cash. This is relevant, right? But what is most relevant is 77% would buy at least once a year, and 40% of them would buy 2 pairs. So this is information that we're getting from a survey. So 77%, if presented with the financing option, will buy once a year, even if they haven't planned to do so. And off of that, 40%, think about it, will consider buying 2 pairs. Without a financing offer, the consumers typically purchase a pair of eyeglasses every 2 years, and only 5% of them purchase a second pair. So my suggestion is definitely extend a payment option solution. So in summary, let's review the 4 important steps. Number 1, get comfortable with multiple pair sales. Remember, this is not about overselling. This is not even about selling. This is about educating your patient on what is best for them based on their needs and wants. The second point, transform the patient expectation from the need into the want. When you move that patient into the world of the want, you saw in the beginning of the presentation how the approach dramatically changed. It changes from something that I strictly needed to see to something that I actually desire to see, to feel better, to look better, and many, many more things. Number 3, create a fun and meaningful retail experience. Has to be fun, and that's really is going to unlock the desire of your patient to be able to engage and participate and spend. Number 4, convince them that 2 pairs are better than 1. Now, to be able to do so, you have to actually believe so. I hope you found this training segment beneficial. I hope you receive just 2 or 3 ideas to be able to help you to move into implementation mode. Thank you very much for your participation.